Alright, so this video is a painting interpretation video for Trevor's painting. So, where do I want to start with background? So, okay, let's talk about timestamp, the timestamp of this. Okay, so I did not know Trevor at all when I painted this. I had been following Ari for a while. Well, it was probably only a few months, but it felt like forever. So Ari is, for anyone else that's watching, Ari is Trevor's partner and our very dear friend and mentor who passed away last year on the 7th of the 7th. So this was, I had been following Ari for a little while, and I joined up to her Bewitchment Festival in May 2020. And as part of that festival, Trevor was doing a talk on quantum mechanics. So I guess when I joined the festival, it was supposed to sort of be a bit of a focus on your business, your soul work. And when I joined the festival, I had absolutely no idea what my soul work was. I had no business. I was just, yeah. But I figured that's okay. I need to work with Ari, so let's do this. And yeah, I suppose the thing, I'd been searching for what my soul work was. But everything I thought of didn't click. It wasn't right. And I knew that it would be something really obvious that had been there my whole life, and I just hadn't seen it yet. And fairly quickly in the course, or in the festival, so I don't even remember who suggested it. I feel like Ari might have said something, but anyway, something clicked that I needed to start painting, and that I needed to paint people's energy fields, or collective energy fields, or just what I saw. So, yes, this was all a very, very, in hindsight, it makes perfect sense, but at the time it was like, oh, okay, all right, that's what I'm doing, there's my business, let's go. So, yeah, and I've always had an interest in quantum physics, so of course when I saw Trevor's talk, I definitely wanted to watch it. So this was sort of all, going around in my mind. And so I just thought, okay, well, I've got to paint someone's energy field. There's Trevor, there's this guy. All right, let's paint his. Okay, so I don't think I did it on the call. I think I might have done it just after the call. But the timestamp of this, time, human construct of time. The timestamp of this was while he was doing the talk on quantum mechanics in May of last year. Yeah. Where do I start? Okay. All right. Well, let's start at the thing that I'm trying to avoid, which will lead me to another background story. So this section here. Okay, wait. Another background story before that. I had no intention of doing interpretations when I did this painting. This was just, I'm doing paintings, that's it. No interpretations. That has come since. So, with other paintings. So I had no intention to come back and interpret this one. But I have been, this was the other background thing I was going to say. So after starting up these paintings, I, kept receiving more downloads. And one of them was this, the Billionaire Artist project. Just sort of woke up one day and went, you have to do the Billionaire Artist. That's something that you have to, quick, register a domain now. So I registered the domain that day, and yes, could already feel all of the things attached to it: billionaire, money, all of the the societal programming, and heavy mindset around that stuff, referring to myself as, potentially becoming a billionaire, even wanting to admit that, even thinking about it, even in my mind right now, I'm thinking, it's still there. But anyway, I just knew it was a topic that I needed to explore publicly and in relation to art. So, society's view of billionaires is one thing, but billionaire artists, that's a whole other level of judgment or whatever. There's just so much that goes into that. And then the third level on top of that, well, there's more levels, but the third level that was tied in on this day when I first got the download was psychic artists. So, pulling art from, I mean, okay, I now understand, I did understand before anyway, that all art is psychic, all art comes from, we're channeling it from somewhere. But so the Billionaire Artist project was, yes, initially around money, psychic ability, and art, and how those three tie together. Worth, the way art is perceived as being worthy or not worthy in our society, all of that sort of stuff. So the other sort of premise that came with the download was that I just had to do everything that I received. Everything that I was guided to do as part of this project, I just had to do. I mean, no, not had to. I still have free will. That's what I was signing up for. That I will do what I am guided to do, even if it makes no sense, and even if I don't want to do it. So this is tied in on so many levels. Hence why I am here on YouTube talking. Well, yeah. Talking nervously. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Oh, car. Okay. So yes, now I have a YouTube channel, and I think, initially it's going to be about interpreting the artworks. So I thought, why not? Let's go back and interpret the first one. I'd already offered it to Trevor, and he said he'd like to take it. So yes, let's go ahead and do a video interpretation of it. So I had decided that I was going to do that, and then a few weeks later, this is the part that I'm avoiding. Okay. So this here, I had been perceiving like, so I hadn't put any interpretation onto this at all. But then when I decided I was going to, then I started seeing, so I was perceiving this as some like rocket ship like form of thing, which I was sort of seeing as quantum leaps, that sort of concept made sense to me. But then when I decided I was going to do the video, I suddenly went, oh my gosh, that's very phallic looking, and don't make me talk about that on YouTube. I don't want to talk about that on YouTube. But apparently I have to, so no, I don't have to. I'm choosing, I swear. But so this is the other side of that keeps coming in for the Billionaire Artist project, is creativity and money and psychic ability, and how that ties in with sexuality. And that's a topic that I've that I want to avoid publicly. But also I recognize that it's something that really needs to shift in our society. So, you know, let's go with it. You know, there's I'm not going to get into too much detail right now, but I just know that it's a thing that's coming up quite a lot. So from that perspective, then I'm thinking, wow, okay, so this is actually a lot more about, well, it's both, it's everything, but it's, you know, then I was thinking of from the perspective of masculine power, which I know is something that Trevor's, you know, explored stepping into and had, you know, I know Trevor, you've had past judgments of masculine power, you know, the toxic side of it, that sort of thing. Yeah, but the thing that I really love, because the colours are everything for me. It's like a core of purple, psychic ability, and then the center of that, voice, vocalizing, you know, sharing your wisdom, and then the green, love, a little bit of yellow, power, you know, your solar plexus, self, personal power. So obviously that is just perfect. And then a little bit after that, one of the groups, Brenda's crystal page, somebody posted a picture of a crystal that was this sort of arrangement with I think the angle was slightly different, but there was a, you know, like a, what are those, you know, like a wand sort of, I forget what that arrangement is called, like a quartz thing. And then it had another little quartz thing up here, like holding it up. It just reminded me a lot of this shape. And seeing that made me think of this as like a support beam, which sort of brought more meaning again to this. What angle am I going to go down there? Support. Obviously, Trevor, you know you're divinely supported. This also makes me think of teeth and my own personal journey with teeth and teeth healing, because you know, I have a very, very loose tooth at the back, and my like holistic tooth sort of mentor, advisor, she talks about the metaphysical meaning behind different, you know, different things, different teeth things, and having a loose tooth, you know, it's your gums support your teeth. So when your gums are, you know, receding, or, you know, which, yeah, that's I've had a lot of receding. These ones are not loose anymore, but I've got one at the back that's still very loose. But yeah, it's around support, and either not feeling supported or not trusting that you are supported, or, you know, something like that. So I'm sure, Trevor, I'm sure you're going to have plenty of interpretations around this, but support on around your divine masculine. And remember the timestamp, this is back, you know, back before Ari passed away too. I mean, yeah, so that's interesting. And of course the colours here too. So it looks a bit different on the camera, but yeah, green and blue. So love and expression, self-expression. Yeah. Okay, so the other thing, there's not enough room. The other thing that sort of jumped out at me when I first looked at this, when I was, you know, thinking that I was going to interpret it, is this orb, which to me is clearly a portal as well. And the first thing I thought is, that's Ari. Okay, so yes, when I first saw this, I thought orb, I thought portal, and I thought Ari. But, you know, obviously, yeah, obviously she was alive at this point, but, you know, her energy field continues on, so, as we all know. Yeah, so she was clearly in your aura then. I guess on the, which way do I go with this? I'll go both. So one thing that sort of stood out to me is, okay, so the round looks like a full moon, except that it's a little bit wonky. So like not quite a full moon, just before the full moon. I forget what that's, waxing, waning. I can't remember terminology for that, but you know, it looks like a couple of days before full moon to me. And I did wonder if there was some sort of significance in that couple of days before the full moon. Yeah. The colours. So it looks different on camera to what it does in real life to me. On camera, I see blue, purple, and sort of magenta. So, you know, voice, third eye, and crown. Then when I look at it in real life, I actually see the blue looks more like a deep purple indigo. So third eye, with purple around it, and then a little bit of crown, but I'm also seeing red, like root chakra. Yeah, and that's the thing I love about colors. I mean, I love correlating colors and numbers, and they just have such different, they can give you different angles, different interpretations. Because, you know, numbers can feel so fixed. You know, like if I was going to put this to numbers, what am I looking at on the camera or in real life? So in real life, I'm seeing 6, 7, 1, 8. So the purple, magenta, red, white. But then when I'm looking at colours, totally dependent on lighting. Like the numbers can shift or the colours can shift depending on lighting, depending on your feelings at the time, depending on what colour you're putting it next to. Like they bounce off each other and, you know, they shift. They're sort of evolving. But yeah, okay, so so this whole section here feels very, it's like if this is the masculine, this feels like the feminine, but more so the mother. This feels like the mother aspect. And it's interesting, like radiating out of the mother is the purple and green stripes, which is I've mentioned this in the other, and I'm probably going to mention this every time I speak because purple and green stripes is just it's been there from the beginning since I realized what all of these colors were that I was seeing. But it's sort of so many ways I can describe it, but it feels like a realignment, or I suppose an alignment with your own truth. So it's everywhere. Like I see it in almost every aura that I tune into, or every energy field. It's definitely in the collective, in the Earth's energy field. It's sort of like the main thing I know I'm going to see. And it comes up in all different ways. I'm definitely going to have to do a video just on purple and green stripes alone, because there's so much to it. yeah, different frequencies and the way they move and the shapes and anyway, so much. But yeah, so it's interesting that realignment to truth is what's radiating out of the mother energy. And this section, this section especially, this bit here, what comes up for me, and I'm certain this has to be, it has to be applicable for you too, Trevor. But when I look at this at different times, when I have looked at it at different times, because remember this is the first painting I ever did, and I didn't have much of a process around it then. I just got out the paint and just went for it. I didn't sketch anything out or anything like I do now. But when I look at this, sometimes I look at it and I judge it really hard and go, oh, it's so messy and gross. But then other times I look at it and go, wow, this part especially, I just go, wow, it's so beautiful when you look. And I'm looking at it on the camera now, judging it. Right now I'm in judging mode. But that'll shift. It's always going back and forth. Yeah, and so when I'm looking at it in real life, I can see it a bit more. But yeah, so I'm sort of seeing this section. I'm thinking of it as like a beautiful mess, which isn't that like life and humans, and the way. That's the polarity of how we perceive ourselves and each other, and we get to choose at every moment whether we see beauty or whether we see mess, and even whether we perceive mess as a negative thing. Like mess doesn't have to be a negative thing. Yeah, so just that whole choosing polarity. Yeah, all of that section really brings up a lot for me. So I'm sure that will be applicable to you too, Trevor. And when you piece it all together, like I can't help but get a little bit of fish vibes, like the gills in the eye sort of thing. There's something there that's, ocean swimming, like and again that can go so many different ways. It could be like fish out of water, if you're feeling out of your depth, or you're I'm thinking all of the negative ones right now, I know, but not negative, negative, but that Einstein quote, what is it, something about I can't think of the actual words, but something about if something about a fish climbing a tree. Yeah, like if you put the expectation on a fish that they need to be able to climb a tree to be successful, then they spend their whole lives believing that they're stupid, which is, you're not going to put that expectation on a fish, but we do that as humans. We put those expectations on humans, and that are just not them. It's we try to do these systems, that one size fits all, the education system, and that, like, just so many. That's a big, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to go into the detail, but you understand what I mean. So, yeah, this fish energy, and this being realignment to your truth, to yourself, to our collective truth. And obviously, those polarities are coming up a lot right now. and in the past year, and they're going to continue to keep coming up and shifting. And yeah, it's a major, clearly it's a major thing that we're in right now. The systems are showing their flaws to everyone, even the people that haven't been seeing it all this time. Yeah, so I feel like I'm just talking about the negative side of the fish thing, but obviously, you know, a fish in the ocean or river is, you know, it's like pure grace and strength, and, you know, they're at one with their environment and everything around them. So yeah, I guess that's the sort of flip side. One and the same. Yeah, so what else do I want to say? I definitely feel just generally, yeah, just a whole heap of, I'm not liking looking at it in the camera. There's just a whole heap of softness coming in around the edges. I mean, like, it's very, it feels very masculine geometric, but also there's just so much softness coming into it, especially with these, you know, these sort of corners. This is, you know, lower energy centers, obviously. Red, orange, yellow. Yeah, I don't know, yeah, and there's a lot of yellow coming in into the greens here too. This is this specific combination of that type of green with purple has always been a really, I don't know, I guess a triggering kind of, not, well, I say always, initially was a very triggering kind of like, you know, combination, like the way the two react together. I've had a lot of, yeah, I suppose, yeah. I don't know how to sum that up. That's very that's big. I remember looking at this. I'm talking way back, like sort of 6 years ago, you know, when I just had my first child. I remember seeing this combination a lot. This, you know, this kind of purple and this really almost fluorescent sort of green. And I remember telling myself that fluorescent green, I would refer to it as stomach bile green. Like, you know, like, you know, which obviously that's contributing to my beautiful mess perception. I'm not talking about much of the beautiful right now, am I? It's all coming out very oh man, it's all coming out very negatively. But I don't. Yeah, I hope you see. I know you're going to see the balance in it, Trevor. But I suppose so. Oh, I didn't mention, like, clearly I know Trevor a lot better now, and I had, you know, no idea who he was at this point in time. But yeah, now I'm in his front yard, where our whole family has been sitting in his front yard for almost a week in our RV, parked up, visiting, and yeah, we're getting straight to the point, dealing with the stuff that comes up. So I guess I'm just defaulting to to all of the, you know, negative programming when I'm looking at this right now. This, I don't know, I feel like something's missing here. I feel like there's something new that I've not thought of before. Oh, just reminded me too that this I have thought of this before. This, and again, it looks different on the camera, but this here feels a bit like blood splattering, like it's, you know, almost the hardship and the, I don't know, the, you know, there's something there about the struggle and the wounds, you know, the wounds bleeding out, which obviously that's, you know, contributes to the judgment mess sort of side of it, but also like so much beauty in the way that they sort of mesh together and blend. What else do I want to bring in? This is not about this, but well, it is about this, but it's not interpretation. No, just Ari's here, and she's cheering. She's cheering with her pom poms. Yay! Thank you, Ari. Oh, and there's also a fly that keeps flying around here. That's another sort of signal that that Ari's worked on me with. I've always had big issues with flies, and especially if they touch me, I get so angry. Like anger, you know. I thought everybody got that angry, but no, apparently not everybody does. But yeah, anger stuff comes out with flies, and there's this one fly that's. But yeah, Ari showed me just a couple months ago that they're there to remind me to fly. Like that's, you know, the message is that simple. They're coming and saying, hey, don't get stuck in your shit, you know, like fly. That's the message. So yeah, thank you, fly. So it's gone quiet now. Okay. The art. I'm just getting a lot of emphasis on these fish gills sort of thing, but and I guess you know, a prompt to sort of remind you that obviously energy fields are not static. Like this is, I've just painted one little portion, one little moment in time, but you know, this is all constantly ever moving. Yeah, and you can sit and interpret each little frame for hours if you want. But yeah, I'm getting emphasis on this, the movement of this. So I suppose everything that we were just talking about there with you know, the polarities, all of that, the movement. And how much that's shifting, which clearly, obviously, there has been so much shifting for you, Trevor. So much. For all of us. A little bit, and I don't really see it in the camera, but in real life, this feels like a fair bit of darkness coming in there. The dark mother energy. It sort of feels like the depths of the ocean and the whitewash too. The waves. I'm feeling a bit blank and just serene now, which is, you know, pretty reflective of yeah, what's been going on this week. We'll, you know, bring up a topic, work through a topic, and then, you know, Trevor's been showing me his magic Psych K stuff. Shift it, deprogram, done. and every time I'm just like, I just feel like blank slate, like completely nothingness in the best kind of way. Just, you know, what is life? There is there is everything and nothing all at once, and I get to choose anything. There's endless possibility, endless. Yeah. I'm getting this feeling again, which has happened after each one of the Psych K sessions since I've been here. It's like this, yeah, almost an annoyance that things have cleared so quickly. Like, no, I want to suffer for longer. You know, there's you know, it can't be that easy. You know, I could have done that a long time ago. Yeah, this sort of, and yeah, and if obviously I'm working through the lingering, yeah, victim need to be a victim. So yeah, which is good. That's a great thing to let go. But then every time I think about letting go, I'm like, no, but it's such a big part. What do I do if I can't be a victim? What do I do? Yeah. I feel like this is such a negative video, but okay. It's meant to come through that way, isn't it? Hopefully when I re-watch it, I might see the gems a little more. Flies circling my head again. Alright. Well, so thank you very much, Trevor, for letting me paint your energy field back then. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, you've been through such a transformation since this time, but obviously the threads, you know, have always been there. Obviously, more than threads, they're, you know, yeah. And yeah, I look forward to continuing witnessing your journey, because it's very inspirational to so many people. So thank you very much for sharing your journey with us. I really appreciate it.